Welcome to Perpetual 3 Design's first Kickstarter, The Living Dungeon Abandoned Keep. And thank you for your interest in our product. We have been getting some requests to explain our pledges and packs a little bit better, so I'm making this video to help you guys out. And what you have here on the table is our different packs of which your pledges will be comprised of. So basically here you have our MVP, which is the foundation pack, which is all your walls and floors and corners, your doors, things like that. This is pretty much everything that is inside a foundation pack. Some of the pieces are final, some we're still improving on. But this basically, you can see here the amount of stuff that you get with a single foundation pack. Now here you have an elevation pack, which is some floors, some terminals, and some balconies. Now, we only have one here to show you guys. This is a prototype balcony, but you're going to be getting 4 of these per pack, plus some corners. And you're also getting, because you unlocked it as a stretch goal, some stairs that have handrails. And those handrails connect seamlessly to these balconies themselves. You also have some columns. The columns are mostly aesthetic. They also help support the upper floors, but you don't really need them because the magnets are strong enough to hold it by themselves. Then you have some decorations. This is an example of a decoration pack. Although it has some more stuff in here, you're basically going to be able to choose from 10 small of these decorations and 8 of these wall decorations, which all have magnets in the back that you can connect to these straight walls. And you also have one big decoration piece, but in each of your packs, and depending on your pledge, you're going to have several of these. You're going to be able to choose whichever decorations you want. These are just some examples, and we're still designing more. So by the time the pledge manager comes around, you're going to have a big list of decorations to choose from. On the electronics side, you have here an example of an electronics pack. It has some LED walls, some braziers, and some exit walls. Now, the exit walls, we've had some questions about it. They are basically pieces that allow you to pass the cables from inside your map to the outside and basically to your control box. So you just pass the cables like this, and this is going to be seamlessly used on your map. It looks like just any other wall, and all you have to do is basically use this passage that we have right here. The reason that we have 2 of them is because this is for the upper floor. So let's say you want to have electronics on your first floor. You basically just stack these together like this, and your cable will go inside the upper piece and down, come out of the lower piece and into your control box. We have some terminals as well, and then you have typically per electronics pack, you have a motor piece. Here we have a rotating wall, but depending, or if it's a normal electronic pack or a big electronic pack, you're going to have a bigger choice of pieces that you can select from. So in an electronic pack, you have this one, you have the crushing wall, you have some of those, and then on the big electronics pack, you have the smoke machines, the rotating floor, which is a bigger piece, and whatnot. So this is basically all the base specs that you can get in our Kickstarter. And depending on the pledge that you have, you're going to be able to select several of these. So for example, a tutorial pledge has 1 of each, not the electronics. The adventure pledge has all of these, the electronics and the control box. And then if you go to the core pledge, it's double this. And the Living Dungeon pledge is 4 times all you see on this table. So now I'm going to show you some of the pledges assembled all together so you can see what that looks like. Okay, guys, so here I have a tutorial pledge assembled for you. I took everything that was on the table, except for the electronics, and I put it all together here quite easily. As you can see, I didn't even use all the pieces that I had, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit for you guys to see. This is all magnetized, so you can just do this all together. It's easier for you to, flip it to show your players or whatnot. I purposely left this side open. if I was game mastering this, I would of course be sitting on this side and the players on that side, so they would have more visibility to the map. But we also have these walls that are would have less elevation. You can put these on this side, and this would, allow the players to see while still having a wall on this side if you want that option. And there's a lot of things you can do with this. And if you want to continue building your dungeon, if you have only a pledge like this, you can, for example, have the players enter this room, take out this part that you no longer need, or this room, and build a new room over on this side. It won't take you a long time. You can build a room in 5 minutes or less. It won't take longer than just writing it down and drawing it with a whiteboard marker on a piece of plastic, as I know many of us have done before. So here it is, the tutorial pledge. No electronics, no modern stuff. It's just our magnetic system working here for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. So here we have the Adventure Pledge. This one is roughly the same size as a tutorial pledge, even though because it has the extra electronic pieces, it has a bit more of everything. It has 2 extra walls and about 6 extra floor pieces because of the electronics that take up space on the map itself. There is slightly less visibility now, as you can see, but this is on purpose because I want to show you guys something. Let's say that, for example, your players were coming in through this door. They are in this room, they have an exit over there, and there's a wall over here that has a door. Now, you don't want them to know what's inside this room in the beginning of the adventure. You could use a cloth, something like that, but you can also use either our floors or walls to do something like this. And you just put them on top. This creates kind of like a ceiling and obscures the visibility from your players to the rooms. And as soon as they get in, you want them to see more. You can easily start removing some pieces. This is very easy to do. You just come here, do this, and now they can see inside this room. It has some braziers. It has this wall, which is an exit wall that I'll explain in a second. And it has here one of our electronic pieces, which is the secret rotating wall. So I would activate this on my phone via Bluetooth, and this would open to reveal this secret room that has a treasure inside here, if you can see it right here, okay? And then the players would continue on through here and exit here and go to a different side of the dungeon. Now, if I rotate this to you guys, so you can see it from the back, it has this exit wall, has this hole over here that the cables would come out of from the electronic pieces that you have inside the map, and this would connect to the control box, which actually comes with the Adventure Pledge as well. It'll come inside this little box here. The cables go in, and if you don't want the players to see all the cables and see everything go inside the control box, you can have this safely behind your GM screen, which would be sitting over here. It would go from the wall into the control box, and you just activate it with a touch of your phone, and there's no big hassle, nothing you need to worry about. So here's the Adventure Pledge for you guys. It's also kind of a modest-sized dungeon, but just like the tutorial pledge, you can keep adding to it, remove the rooms that you no longer are using, and continue on the other side if you want to have a bigger dungeon, basically. So I've just upgraded here to a core pledge. This is roughly double the amount of pieces that you had in the previous Adventure Pledge, and you can see here that I've actually expanded from the map that we were already building. I've made this room bigger. There's a big electronic piece over here. We have some elevation now. You can see how this works. And we also will add the balconies, the handrails over here, like we talked about before. There's some more electronics. You have more LED walls, more braziers. And this is already a very robust dungeon pledge. You can have roughly 5 rooms with this, but if I made some rooms smaller, you could even have more. And so there's a lot of replayability here. I've used the flipped over floors to make both wooden areas and stone areas. We're also going to have wooden staircases and wooden balconies. So everything of this side could be wood. And so this is our middle level pledge, and it is already very, very strong. You don't have to shift around a lot for a middle size dungeon. You don't have to keep rebuilding rooms and going to other places. This is already very much a room, a dungeon that you could use for a single one-shot session. It's more than enough. If you populate this with enemies, this will last you for a full session, no problem. And it's a pledge that I enjoy a lot, and I think it's a good balance between price and the amount of stuff that it brings, and the value that you get. And this, my friends, is the Living Dungeon Pledge. It is our main biggest pledge. It is 2 times the core, 4 times the adventurer pledge. It has a bunch of functionalities, a bunch of features. To be fair, I don't even have all the pieces right now to make a full Living Dungeon pledge. So this is everything that I had. You're going to get even more than this. There's a bunch of these pieces that are going to be repeated. So you have so much more modularity, so much more versatility, so much more replayability with this map. Right here, I made, I think, about 8 rooms, but 2 of them are very, very big. This is a rotating floor. You have a smoke machine here. You're going to be getting at least 2 of these big pieces, at least 4 electronics, other electronics pieces, 8 braziers, 8 LED walls, just a bunch of stuff. Over 50 decorations. This is the big boy. If I rotate it like this, you see, because this is all magnetic, it's very easy to just rotate everything. It won't all come apart. And here you have it, the Living Dungeon Pledge for your enjoyment and ours as well.